Hi, this is Randy Rose, and you're listening to the Johnny Taco Show.
All right, this is Johnny Tacos here with another Origin Stories. Today we have Memphis, Tennessee Christian alternative rock band 12 Spies. And before I get to their song, Crown of Thorns, I just want to let you know that we are getting closer to Battle of the Band. So please register because the last day is September 9th. So if you have a band of any genre that you think can be the top Christian local band, then go ahead and fill out. The registration is on Finding Hope Festivals. And good luck to you. God bless you for doing that and sharing God's word. All right, we are going to get down and get funky, old school alternative rock. And we have the song, and that song is Crown of Thorns by 12 Spies here on the Johnny Taco Show. All right, that was Crown of Thorns by 12 Spies. And today, I guess we got 2 of the 12, which, you know, you can't handle all 12 of them at once. And that's the only reason why we have 2. Hey, guys, introduce yourself to the show.
Hey, my name is Joel Gillihan. I sing and play guitar.
And I'm David Jacobs, and I sing and play bass.
All right. So, welcome to the show. It's been kind of a journey trying to get you on the show.
Yeah, we appreciate you working with us because we just had a lot going on lately. So we appreciate you working us in.
Hey, God is moving every day. So, you know, we're in his time. We're in, Jesus time, JT time. I guess that's what we're at.
There you go.
So tell us a little something about yourselves.
Well, David and I have been friends for a long time. We met in a church, and we just kind of stayed in touch. We clicked pretty quick, and we've been friends for a long time and started playing music together, like 8 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 7 or 8 years ago. We did have previous projects and stuff. I guess you've always been playing guitar, right?
Yeah, guitar has been my main thing, and but songwriting started becoming a bigger thing for me. And I don't know, the Christian rock thing has just been great for me because that's what I want to write about, you know? So songwriting's taken a big step forward for me. So, but yeah, we've been friends for a long time, and it's a blessing to be in the band together and be 2/3 of the band.
Yeah. I actually picked up the bass in a previous project. We were playing with a friend. It was an acoustic project. And I was playing piano at the time in the group. And then the singer, he just loved metal music. He loved to scream and all this stuff. And at some point, he kind of like asked me and Joel if we could make it kind of a heavier thing. And Joel already played electric guitar. So at that time, they were like, "Hey, David, can you play bass?" And I think Joel had an extra Ibanez or something and just like handed me the bass, and I kind of figured it out. So it's actually sitting right there. Yeah, right here. But from there on, I just kind of played bass, you know, off and on in projects. And this one's been very consistent. And so I've been playing pretty consistent for the past few years. But yeah, that's my, I guess, musical story from that perspective. I played instruments in high school and stuff, but yeah.
So
in band, but
yeah. So you're from Memphis, Tennessee, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So doing that, because I was listening to a couple of your songs to get me hyped up for this interview. To me, I feel a lot of old, like late 80s and 90s kind of grunge feel to the alternative, because there was one song, and it just elates my mind for a second, but the guitar just reminds me of Alice in Chains, how it kept winding. And I'm like, well, you know what? I could get into this music because it's the music of my people, you know, because back in the day, that's what I listened to, was a lot of alternative back when I was many moons ago, and listening and just going. Is that some of your heroes that you grew up listening to?
Yeah, definitely. I like Alice in Chains. Some of my biggest influences guitar-wise is definitely probably number one, Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge and his solo band and Creed. And then big Chevelle fan. I don't know if you can hear some Chevelle in there or not, but yeah, there's just the 90s, 2000s rock is just a huge kind of just interest for me musically. So, and we try not, you know, I mean, we have some effect stuff going on in our songs, but a lot of it's like a guitar or some kind of a vocal with effects on it, as opposed to, you know, electronic effects, or we don't want too many production tricks going on in the songs, but, you know, we're definitely going to see if we can produce them best we can, but a lot of it's just us playing, you know, so.
And that's the way it was back then. You know, it was just guys just playing like out of a garage into a concert. You know, there wasn't a lot of heavy synths or, you know, anything computer effects. It was just raw distortion with raw vocals, and I'm glad that you're keeping it there. I do like my metal, you know, I'm more of a metalhead, but, you know, I still have a soft spot for alternative rock because, you know, I grew up on Bush. I grew up on Cake, you know, and also Creed. Creed was like I didn't even know they were a Christian band until somebody said, "Hey, they're a Christian band." Well, at the end of the Creed, it wasn't very Christian, you know, because of the downfall of of the singer, and you know, it's just one of the horror stories that you see in secular music, because they start losing who they focus on and start living for themselves and chasing their heart and their desires. So
definitely.
So doing this, how many bands have you been in through the years? And when did you pick up a guitar? Was it at a young age, really young? Did your family, help you boost up on learning how to play the guitar?
Yeah, so I started playing guitar when I was probably like either 8 or 10 or something like that. My dad played bass in bands for probably like 40 years in Memphis. And so I kind of wanted to be like my dad, when I was a kid, play music. I enjoyed it. And he showed me the basics of guitar and stuff. And I just kind of he kind of showed me how to play by ear. And that was kind of important for me because I could just listen to my favorite songs and just pick things out, So that I just kind of kept going with it, really.
And with that, you just, because that was your passion, because everybody wants to be like their dad. They might not say, I want to be like my dad, but you end up always portraying your dad. So I totally, I kind of skipped my dad and went for my grandfather. I'm more like my grandfather than my dad. But so growing up, and growing up and just feeling the need to play guitar, you played in several bands. Both of y'all played in several bands, right? Growing up?
Yeah, I played with our youth group a little bit in the church we met, actually. And then I played in
Dollface Angle
1 to 2 bands before David started playing with me. And then once we started playing music, we just been in bands since. It's like I can't imagine being in a band without David at this point. So what about you, David? I mean,
pretty much been the same. Yeah, I guess it's been this one, 2, I guess that was project 3, maybe 4 or 5 at this point. And then I guess you have a couple on top of that.
Yeah.
Like I said before, in high school, that probably doesn't count, with different instrument, different thing entirely there. But yeah, within the rock sphere, guitar kind of stuff, yeah, maybe 4 or 5 projects. So
David, you can actually say that you're a multi-instrumentalist.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, I used to play French horn. That was actually an instrument I was really, really good at. It's a brass instrument. I don't know if people know that, but I love that instrument. I just haven't played it in so long because of time. Bass is about all I play now, and then I'm trying to work on my voice and stuff. But yeah, I played that for years. I started middle school and some in college, so for a while, and then piano as well. So yeah, but I've gotten away from both of those. When you become an adult, you don't have as much time, and you really can only choose like one or two things. Invest your time in, and this band is one of those things for me. So my musical efforts mainly go toward bass playing and singing. Now, especially singing. I think, yeah, Joel's been working a lot on songwriting and voice and stuff like that. And I know now that I sing in the band too, that's definitely a lagging area for me. So I'm working on it.
Dave is modest, but he's the best musician in the band, honestly.
No, that's not true.
You kind of look like Jesus, and don't be modest. Come on, Jesus.
Man, you wouldn't believe how many times I get that, man. We were at that rock festival we played, the Christian rock festival, a couple weeks ago, and I had people literally come up to me and tell me that at that festival. It was at Chains on Chain. So, and that happens, man. Well, I've literally gone to a coffee shop or random places, and somebody will just come up to me and be like, "Hey, excuse me, you look," and now that there's a show called The Chosen out, people will just say, "You look like Jonathan Rumi from The Chosen." I don't know if you know that show, but it's a show about Jesus and his life and ministry. And so
which Christian don't, it's all over.
Yeah,
I got to watch the first season at church. We had a movie night where we watched them all. Because some are 30 minutes, some are an hour, and I think like the last episode in that season was an hour and a half, so you can watch it in one night.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can binge it.
Yeah, it's just I can see you like they ask you at church, hey, we're going to do a Christmas special. We need you to be Jesus. Would
people were telling me actually the church I go to does that. They do basically a little segment or whatnot. It's called the Singing Christmas Tree, but then they actually have a section in there where they feature Jesus and his life and stuff. But there's a guy that I know that he gets the part every year. And this year I had people telling me, "Oh, you need to audition for it." But I just don't have the time, man. They were like, "Oh yeah, you would look the part and stuff." But yeah. And I actually got asked to be a shepherd for some little kids thing one time. And the guy that asked me to do it was like, "Yeah, we should have you come back as a disciple or something else." And it just never worked out.
You're getting upgraded every time you get upgraded.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet though. So I'm kind of happy because I don't really have time to just go over there and do a whole lot with it. But yeah, that's funny.
But it's always, it's fun. It's cool because there's actually a Bethlehem Revisited in around my area, and they make it look like how it was back in that day, and you see the birth of Jesus all the way up to the crucifixion of Jesus, and it was just you see people peddling for wares, all these actors. And I'm like, you know what? You should come to Waxahachie, and you be a shoe-in.
Well, I appreciate it.
We'll even have Joel in there as a stable boy or something.
I'll find something to do, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
have you done that before?
No, I actually passed out free hot cocoa for the people that came in because it was totally free. They did you can put in tides if you want to, or you can just go in free. And we were passing out free hot cocoa, and that right there, I think, is the most important in December is hot cocoa.
Yeah, because we know they had hot cocoa in the first century, right?
Yeah. Yes, in the first century there was hot cocoa. It's in the Bible. I think it's under John 3. The third book that they forgot to put in the Bible, John 3. And they have had water of cocoa. So let's talk about your band, 12 Spies. For those who don't know, how did you come up with that name?
So it's I was actually talking with a buddy I was working with at the time, and he's another Christian guy, and I was just talking to him about band names and stuff, and he was like, you should name your band, because I was setting out to do a new project, and he was like, you should name it Kadesh Barnea, like the monument that the 12 spies came back, and they made this monument at the place where they came back and gave the report about the Promised Land. But I was reading around in that part of the Bible. It's in Numbers 13. And I was like, I wonder if 12 Spies is taken. So I was trying to scour the internet to see if that was a band name, and it wasn't. So I was like, you know what? That's kind of cool. So with that, and it kind of fits the lyrical content as well, because, it's a good segue into what we're talking about,
And when did this band become a whole? Was it back in 21?
It was like right when 21 started, maybe into 2020, I would say.
And
Joel's not giving you the full thing because it came out of a solo project that Joel had.
Oh, do speak more. You got plenty of time. I'll tell you when to stop.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't too confident in singing at first, and I was going to do just like an instrumental metal guitar, one-man band kind of thing, I guess, but I don't know, just something about forming a band was great because I actually had encouragement. Well, I had encouragement from our drummer. James really he heard the songs that I've been working on, and I sang on some of them and whatnot. He's like, man, we should make this a full band. This is good stuff or whatever. So he was kind of the catalyst for this becoming like a real band and everything. So.
And unfortunately, James couldn't be here today. He gets a miss out on being on a podcast. So, we'll fill him in later. We'll just say, hey, we had tacos. We were having a party. You missed out.
He's helping a family member move right now. So he's being good to his family right now. So
yeah, just pray for him that he doesn't drop any priceless artifacts.
Yeah.
So with this band going and, with the influences, like you said, Chevelle, and how I feel that Alice in Chains feels like an influence on the band as well. How many songs have you written for this band?
So we have our first album. There's 10 songs on that album, and, Spotify plug, it's all over Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff. And then we have some more ideas. We had maybe 7 songs we were talking about so far, but we really need to sit down and kind of finalize what songs we're going to use on the new album. We're always just kind of writing new stuff and recording as we go kind of thing. So
that's the audience right there. They're excited about your new music. You heard them roaring with anticipation. So, so with all this new music coming up, is it like a river of just music coming out of your head? Because I know a lot of Christian artists, when they tune in and they let the Holy Spirit go over them, upon them. And they're musicians. They write so much beautiful work, and they write it in abundance, and it just pours out. And is that what your process is, or is it a little bit? Are you critiquing? Are you a perfectionist?
I think that I just kind of, when I'm in them, I don't know. Sometimes I just get an idea. I'm just really in the mood to create or something, and that's when I write. And I usually just have the meat and potatoes of an idea, and David will come up with stuff. I feel like there's some songs where he's doing the lead vocal, some of the new ones, and it sounds really good. And I don't know how your process is for that, but in the past it's been I'll just bring a raw idea, and it'll be kind of the nuts and bolts, like the core of the song. I guess nuts and bolts is not right, but the core of the song. And but David's really good at all the background melodies and changing the main stuff to actually sound a lot better. And he's just very good at the details and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel inspired and create, I guess, sometimes.
So y'all are like the Hall and Oates of Christian alternative music. Yeah, if y'all don't know who Hall and Oates is, I'm showing my age.
Yeah, I apologize. Our drummer would be laughing at me right now because he's the one that knows all the different bands, and I'm like, man, I know bands I know. But
it's okay. I have a lot of older listeners that are, around my age and a little bit older. They'll get a kick out of that because, I gotta, I just because Hall & Oates had a chemistry where one thinks of a music and then the other one just perfects it. and it's like a family. You know, a band is like a family.
Yeah.
So, and it's awesome that you found your click and that you found the melody, and y'all both work together instead of struggling to fight who's the primary or dominant person in the band.
Yeah, I mean, with anything, it's kind of a compromise too. But yeah, I feel like that our flow works really well. Like we both are like willing to just work with each other on our ideas and whatnot, and just maintain an open, I guess, attitude about the music. I feel like if you get really set in stone about something, then you're going to get offended or whatever when you change it. Not that, I mean, sometimes there's a line where you're just like, this is going in it and I don't care, kind of a thing. You'll die on that hill. But usually if we have a situation like that, then everybody's just like, all right, we understand. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's about the song as a whole. Even though a lot of that involves just the details of it, you have to look at it as a full picture. And it's like, does this add to the song? Does it add to what we're going for, or is it detracting from what we're going for, if that makes sense? And so that's kind of the process. I know for me, like, it's kind of iterative. Joel usually will mix down something, whether it's his raw idea or if it's more closer to a finished. And we have a Google Drive that was set up. And what happens is James and I will listen to those ideas and then come back into the studio and, you know, bring our ideas, what we want to change or what we want to add from our parts or anything else. And then we'll just sit together here and tweak it. And then Joel will shoot it out again. And sometimes it's really iterative like that. I mean, some of those songs, it would be just, I don't know how many times we'd go through until we really nail down that final take. And, you know, it's just something that we process over time. It doesn't always just happen like that in one night or anything, though we can come up with ideas. Like I remember Anchor Me was an idea. We were just sitting in the studio and Joel, like, I don't know where that came from. We were working on something else. And then like within 5 minutes, we basically had that song ready to go. There were some minor tweaks, and then we added like drums and bass and backups, but it came together really quickly. So it just really depends on the idea and all that. So I don't know what to say besides that. It just depends.
Yeah.
And we're pretty analytical, I think, Joel and myself and James. So I'm not going to say that music is like a math equation to us, but we kind of are closer to that side. I feel like, I don't want to speak for you, Joel, I'll let you speak, but I almost feel like I'm on that side more so than I am the like super creative, artsy, whatever, like kind of side. Like for me, I'm like, okay, this is what sounds good. And this is how I can quote unquote, like coordinate or program it in, I don't even like those words because it makes it sound like it's not music, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah. In my mind, I have an idea of what that looks like. And so I don't know. It's not formulaic, but I don't really know how to say it any other way. Maybe you can describe what I'm talking about, because I know you and I kind of understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of a little formulaic as well. I'm also like the mechanics of singing and playing goes into my mind too when I'm writing something, because how you're going to play it live. I want to be sure we can play these songs, you know, so that factors in. So there's just different things to consider, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a formula, you know, there's stage presence, there's songwriting, you know, there's instrumentals, you know, it's just a big formula. We're getting close to the end of the show. You know, Joel and Dave, I'm so honored to have you on here from 12 Spies. You know, it was a shame that, you know, James couldn't be on. But we're going to get a song going on. I think it's a perfect for the ending. It's called "You Lost It All." And can you tell a little bit something about that song?
Yeah, that song, you know, I feel like David kind of came up with this, but like a lot of our lyrics are kind of like looking at life through a Christian lens. And And this song just comes from a desire to just hold on to the things that really matter in life. You know, where your treasure is, your heart will be also. And if you put your treasure in things like money and corporate positions and power, the things of this life and this world that are not of the kingdom of God, you can't take those things with you. And this song is kind of about somebody who put their treasure in things of this world and how they lost it all. You know, they can't take that with them. So it's kind of about somebody who's kind of given into treasuring things of this world.
So pretty much gave into their heart instead of actually giving it fully to God. They went on to their own passions, their own loves, their own desires, their own addictions. They gave into that. And, you know, my grandparents always said, you can't take it with you, you know, after you pass away. You know, I'm like, okay, well, you know, I don't want to have a mountain of riches. I'd rather have a mountain of, of love and all that from God than a mountain of riches, because I've seen so many corruption in the world with riches and false idols and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I'm at an age right now, I'm getting closer to the kingdom. I need to get ready. I gotta get my mindset. And, you know, with your music and your ministry, it just opens my heart. It just makes me so happy to see that there's so many, you know, men of Christ, women of Christ just out there playing their music, using their gift. And I appreciate y'all for, like I said, being on the show. You have a website where they can listen to your music or find upcoming concerts or even buy some merch, right? And what was that website?
It's at 12spiesmusic.com, and that'll kind of be, that has kind of links to everything, you know. But if you search 12 Spies, like the word 12, you should find us on all the streaming platforms and everything. And I just want to say thank you so much for having us on this show. We're so honored to be here, and we really appreciate what you do. And we just really thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, like I said, we're family here. We're family under God, and we're the body of Christ, and it's always good to talk with fellow men of Christ and just talk about music and just enjoy what God has done for us. So, all right, like I said, if y'all want to hear about 12 Spies, you can go on all the major platforms, like Joel said. You can go on the website and get some merch. Help out these gentlemen, because the merch is what really helps out to prolong the ministry and to help upgrade their equipment, to help with gas and other items that you need to have to really be a functioning band. And So we're going to rock it out to You Lost It All on the Johnny Taco Show. Again, thank you guys for being on the show. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to hear the new music that I know is going to rock my face off. You know, next time you see me, I'll have long hair. I'll look closer to Jesus, like my buddy David over here.
Sounds great, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bloodshot lights tell the story of how you lost it all. flesh is fading. It's overwhelming, like a wave that takes you, and it takes control. I see your face as I look into your eyes and see your fate. These bloodshot lights tell the story of how you lost it all. I see your face as I look into your eyes and see your fate. These bloodshot lights tell the story of how you lost it all. Bloodshot lights tell the story of how you lost it all. You lost it all. You lost it
All right, that was the end of the show. I would like to thank 12 Spies for being on the show today. It was awesome to meet them. I can't wait to see brand new music coming up, coming soon. I want to thank Chris Johnson, my producer, for laying on the thick tracks, I guess that's what you call it. Sergio POLLOCK for the music. Filthy Rich for helping me out when a brother needs some help. All the Street Taco team, you know who you are. You say it loud and proud, Taco Power. Oh man, I got to stop. But anyways, to all the new listeners who are here, you have not come here by mistake. Even though you thought this was a Food Network special, you do get edification. The edification of Jesus Christ through the testimony of my guests and my constant babbling. I just want to let you know you are welcome here. You are so loved. Jesus loves you. The family of Christ loves you too. You are a part of us. And when you are down, just look up to Jesus. To all the diehard listeners, the one who listen to every episode, even if I have to force you, thank you. You are the Taco Supreme. I was supposed to say sour cream, but you know what? You get the deal. You get the gist of it. And to everyone else, just remember, open your heart to Jesus, and all things can be possible through the love of Christ and through the blood of Christ. Remember, He died on that cross so you can live a life closer to God. All right, guys, and I hope to see you next time on the Johnny Taco Show Origin Stories.